Well, I'm out here. Camera lens is kind of falling over because the humidity is so high. I want to apologize right off the bat because I'm probably going to be breathing real hard all the damn time. I'm out of shape. I don't smoke, but damn, it sounds like I'm about to have a heart attack when I'm trying to talk and walk at the same damn time. I'll say right now, I'm not a wildlife expert. I never really hunted coming up. A little bit of deer hunting, a little bit of coon hunting. Never had a lot of experience with sounds in the woods. I appreciate everybody commenting on that owl video I posted and then deleted. And apparently that seems to be doves. David made that comment the other day that he thought it might be doves, and then several others made the same comment. And apparently that's what it probably is. So I just took the video down. And that's the whole purpose of it, is I'm learning. And y'all sharing y'all's experience and information with me and knowledge of being out in the outdoor woods. And I'm sharing things that I'm experiencing and seeing around here. And I'm not always right. And sometimes what I think something is, there's always another possibility it could be something else. Sometimes. There's a few times that I know exactly what that was. I do get a little bit defensive when people like say, oh, ain't nothing like that. The juvenile shadow moving on my horse head. People like, that ain't nothing but your own shadow. I'm like, man, it ain't my shadow. I ain't that damn skinny. And I said, how am I casting my shadow on this shed and I'm behind the flashlight? People just make ignorant ass comments like that get on my nerves. And hell, to me, that was one of the most obvious, convincing evidence that I captured of something being out in my yard that wasn't human. And that was a real game changer whenever I caught that for me. And I've been into it about less than a month from my son's experience that he told me about the bear watching from the woods, had a white face, and it was looking at him. I said, how's he walking, son? Walking like me and your dad. He said there was two of them. Well, that started everything. So, well, that didn't start everything. Watching Mission 411 5 days prior to my son's experience, that's where it really started at. But anyway, now we're out here filming, but I'm not out here seeking these creatures out. And I've got other stuff I've got to do out here. We've got a hog problem. Neighbor is disabled. He's asked me to come out here and walk the property and his property and give him an assessment of how bad the activity is with the hogs and stuff. There's some marks right there. And we're going to put something together, try to eliminate all this hog problem. But so it's not all Sasquatch stuff. I need to go out here and check my camera, check the batteries and stuff of that nature. So I don't come out here looking for these creatures. It don't make no sense for me too. If I sit around my house long enough, they'll come to me. So I ain't got to come out here and look for them. And I guess that's probably why I've caught more stuff than a lot of people have that's been doing this stuff 20 years. Was because they got to go find them and capture something. I sit there and drink a beer and wait on them to show up. But I tell you, they are hard. You've got to be steady thinking. You got to change your game plan on a daily basis. Just small increments. Squirrel. Let my hair stand up though a little bit, I ain't gonna lie. Gotta change things. I shouldn't be saying all my little tips out here, they might be listening. But that's what that son of bitches do. But sometimes I just move my cameras 10 foot a day. And I tell you, the times that I've caught some of the best evidence that cameras just moved from another location to that location that it caught caught whatever, heard whatever that day. It was in another location the previous day. And I've only caught one or two things that I thought was worth keeping with the infrared lights turned on. So I know my videos are dark, but it's a purpose behind it. Because that camera's dark and it doesn't have the LEDs on the front of it are turned off through the app. The infrared lights are turned off. So, you know, I know it's still emitting energy, but it's a hell of a lot smaller signature. And usually if I hear something, I hear good stuff, I'll go out there with a flashlight and then let the camera pick up whatever that I'm out there looking for. But anyway. I'm not going to be a very good camera person this first time out. King, that joker's smooth, boy. He be just easing around with that camera, moving smooth and zooming in and out and whispering at the right times. And I got none of those skill sets. We'll talk about some of the stuff that I've noticed. And to me, I've learned a lot. For somebody that's only been aware of these creatures since November, I've had more than one person tell me that I've caught more evidence of their activity than people that have been doing it for a long time. But I got a little bit of advantage. Like I said, I sit at the house drinking beer, waiting on them to show up. Everybody else has to pack up and go look for them. But one of the things that helped me with this YouTube channel, one thing was, in one of my videos you hear a very loud limb break. There's no wind. There is not a leaf moving on a tree, and the loud limb just, wow, very loud limb snap. And you can tell the difference when they step on it, because it go, you hear it breaking as they're putting their foot down, and it breaks a different way than when they do a limb snap. We hear that limb snap. Before they snap that limb, there is audio interference, just like, you know, on that camera. I used to blame that on the metal siding, metal roof that's on my house, and the fact that my camera router is in my kitchen. I get the best signal there because it's closest to my cameras there. But anyway, you hear that audio interference, it quits, then the limb snaps, and the audio interference resumes. And the guy pointed that out to me, and I had never noticed that. I've always heard the, the audio interference, but I've never noticed the fact that it stops, the limb snaps, then the interference resumes. And that got me thinking, you know, people talk about these things being able to drain batteries and emitting this type of energy and stuff, and I never give that stuff any kind of really consideration. But I did after he pointed that out. So I went back, got to noticing. I had game cameras all out here in the woods. I had 19 of them at one time. And the days that I would have audio interference on my home security cameras, on those same days, if you come out here and looked at the game camera SD cards, you would get, there would be audio interference on the game camera's audio the same days as the security cameras at the house. Now how in the hell is that possible? You got a game camera strapped to a tree. It doesn't receive or send any kind of signal. You know, no Wi-Fi. I got a few cellular network ones, but it doesn't on all of them. And it's picking up that audio interference on the same days around the same time as the home security cameras are getting the same interference. And man, that was really puzzling to me. I was like, wow. And the days that there's no audio interference on the home video camera recordings, there's no interference on the game cameras. I got this video I shot the other night. It's about 15 minutes long. But it starts out building that audio interference, and it builds over this 15 minutes to the point where it drowns out all the other nighttime sounds because the interference is that bad. And I saw a red orb, it was the first one I've ever seen, come across the live video feed. It went like in an S pattern, you know, and was gone. And I was recording. I'm like, shit, yeah, I got that on video, man. Peanut butter mark a couple times. And shit, I downloaded the video and went to replay it. You hear the audio interference building. And when it gets to the point where I'm supposed to see the orb, then the camera cuts out with all that damn interference on the screen that you see. So I saw it on live feed. It was there on live feed, but it was not there on the recorded playback. And I've had that happen more than once. That's the first orb I've ever seen though. I never give any people like, oh, I saw Bigfoot and orbs flying around him and shit. Like, well, motherfuckers high. What I used to think. Same thing about mind speaking, cloaking and all that stuff. I'm like, come on now, cloaking. And now I consider everything, because there's still stuff that I've seen that I just don't talk about, because other people's talking about it. The information's out there. You ain't got to hear from me. But yeah, man, I don't even sit there and tell my own mother and my wife every damn thing. Hell, I don't want to think I'm losing my damn mind. And, well, I'm just going to leave it at that. Like I said, since I've been aware of them since November, what I believed this time last month, or my theory on them, is completely than the prior month to that, and completely different than the prior month to that. It changes every month. Because something happens every month, something strange, something I heard and didn't expect, and now I've got to reconsider everything that I thought I knew, and people are like, oh, well, you know, you learned a lot. I'm like, well, you know what I've learned? The more I've learned, I realize the more that I don't know. It goes a lot damn deeper than what I originally thought. And things that I used to joke and laugh about, people talking about mind speak and whatnot. I'm like, Bigfoot told me in my mind, if I pulled that pistol out, he was going to kill me. I was used to joke about that. I'd be like, I'd tell him back in my mind, well, bitch, we fixing to find out, because I'm supposed to pull this bitch on me right now. But I didn't believe in that stuff. It sounded ridiculous to me. I've never had it happen to me. But I don't doubt make fun of it like I used to. I'm guilty of that. And, man, you talk about interdimensional stuff. I'm like, what Bigfoot interdimensional? It's just a hairy ass missing link running around out there and has a skill set in evasion and stealth that they taught and practiced since birth, and that's all it is. Well, man, I'm going to tell you, I've got to reconsider some of that stuff now, because I see these flashes a lot, and sometimes it's up in the trees, sometimes it's down ground level, sometimes it's up in the sky, and it ain't lightning bugs, man. It looks like a camera flash, and sometimes there's a lot more than one of them. And then I'll usually there's some type of activity, I'll hear something. I'll see something unusual. And, you know, I wonder, well, is that a flash of light and this sound I hear, or something I see that might be something, you know, whatever. Think you see something in a bush or a face or whatever. Is that shit connected? I'm like, gotta give serious consideration to it now, because I've seen it too damn many times. And I just don't know anymore. I know that I don't know shit. I know a lot of people that think they know shit don't know shit. One of the few people I've seen that seem to be on top of their game that really truly has a lot of knowledge about these creatures is Troy Hudson of Native Oklahoma Bigfoot Research. He's not out there on YouTube and all that shit. He's got a Facebook. He does a Facebook Live occasionally. That man's got a lot of real knowledge. And he's had experience with these creatures since he was a kid. And he is a outstanding, upright individual. He's ex-military, ex-police. He's a military diver. He's worked with the Secret Service. And his credentials ain't bullshit. And whenever all this stuff was going down, with the juveniles showing up on Christmas, the sheriff, that's who he called to come out to my property. I've since become friends with Troy, and he contacts me on a regular basis. We're supposed to eat lunch here before too long. And then I met David, and I didn't realize David's credentials when I met him. I just like David's demeanor. I wish I could be more like David. David's always on the same level, always cool. Every word that's come out of his mouth, it's never blurted out or not thought out. Everything he says and everything he comments on, he thinks about that before he comments. And he doesn't speak on anything that he doesn't have any kind of direct knowledge of. And people ask him about a portal. That, you know, I got this video of something above my house. I don't know what it is. It's like a lightning bolt growing and then going back. And somebody asked him about that video. He's like, you know, it's not my area of expertise, so I'm not even going to comment on that. Stuff like that I love about David. Because he remains objective, and he's well thought out, and he's been doing this stuff for 20 years and had contact with what people consider the greats in this research field. And I really respect that guy. I'm glad he comes out to my property and looks around. He can see the tracks, man. He's good at that. I'll be stepping right over him and stuff. I'm looking at the tree line. He finds all that stuff. But yeah. All right, here, I want to tell y'all a couple of things about stuff that's been going around, or stories that I never told before. When this stuff first started, I was ignorant. My son had that experience. I threw 2 cameras up. I went to the internet looking for advice, tips, help. You know, didn't know if they were really real. My ignorant ass went on Bigfoot subreddit forum and posted, look, I think I got Sasquatch watching my kids, and is there something I can look for, or anybody got any kind of tips, or should I be concerned? It's the most ignorant ass post, but I didn't know where else to turn to for help or advice. And man, that damn group over there is a joke. And I noticed on my YouTube data, whatever I got, you know, it shows that I get a pretty good little stream of people come from that subreddit over to my YouTube channel. Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, still, this subreddit's a fucking joke. You go over there, everybody's showing all pictures of their Bigfoot mud flaps and shit, and their Bigfoot house mat in front of their front door, and, you know, it ain't got nothing to do with the actual knowledge or sharing the knowledge or experiences of Sasquatch. It's like Sasquatch arts and craft over there. And my ass come over posting about real shit. They lost their mind, and then I had to go through the whole process where everybody was trying to find holes in my story, or, well, what about this? And I thought you said this. They're trying to, you know, challenge my credibility and shit. They weren't helping nobody. They're too busy trying to look for flaws in my story and stuff. Luckily, somebody saw my post, took it and copied it and pasted it over at BigfootForums.com and said, there's a guy over at Reddit posting this, said he's looking for some help and advice. I'm going to invite him to come over here and get away from Reddit. Thank God that guy did that, because that really changed everything. I got an invitation that they shared my post over there, wanted me to come over there, and by that weekend, I got a message, an email late at night from a guy named Joe. He said, my name's Joe. He said, I'm not really a researcher, I'm not really associated with any kind of group. He said, but I have some equipment. I'd like to come down there and help set it up, see if we can get you some answers, see if we can make head or tail what's going on down there. I saw that morning, and before I even responded, he was already on his way down to my house, or general area where I lived at. I called him, he's like, yeah, I already left the house 2 hours ago. I was headed that way. I figured, you know, you would say yes, and I'm glad he did, because I'm going to tell you right now, Joe is a saint. And if you ever read about my channel, or if you ever seen How to Hunt at the end, I'll always mention Joe first and thank him for his contributions and help that he helped me, because I tell you right now, the man reached out to a total stranger. Somebody didn't even know, didn't question anything that I said. He just stepped up and helped me. A guy with kids and stuff, and he set up 6 game cameras in a bait station. At the time, we didn't think we caught anything, but then I really didn't know how to look at those videos the way that I do now. But anyway, activity continued on. So we modified it up. Joe brought down 19 game cameras, some more Arlo cameras, some damn infrared beam proximity sensors and stuff. And Joe, man, knew that I've been adamant about not taking any kind of donations. I don't care if he'd loan me some things, but you know, he gets his shit back. Joe knew how I was about that and how I still am, how I don't take donations. And the man lied to me. I got this extra Arlo system at the house. I switched over to Ring, and I don't even use it no more. I'm going to leave it with you. When he left, I looked at that Arlo box that he dropped off, and that son of a bitch was brand new in the box and ain't never been opened before. He just bought it. And brought 19 game cameras. Well, sometime around February, we were talking. I said, look, man, I'm going to come over this next weekend and bring your game cameras back to you. You know, they're not doing any good. I said, I've only caught 2 pictures, and it was of the same Sasquatch. Out of all them cameras and all the shit that's going on, I said, you know, I'm not going to put batteries back in them, so I'm going to bring them up to you. And he had bought a FLIR camera, a forward-looking infrared, you know, radar camera thing, the Scout, $500 at Bass Pro or whatever, and he had loaned it to me, quote unquote loaned it. And you know, he's like, Mark, if I talked to some, you know, he had 2 guys that were in this with him, but I never met them, that helped contribute, that they actually had a fund to do things like this to help people like me. He said, Mark, I'm going to make this clear and understood. You keep in all of that equipment. We're not taking it back. You need it, and it's not up for discussion. He said, and that includes the infrared camera also. And man, I was so moved by that. I mean, you know, Christmas time, you know, big coming up, and we're doing Christmas, and you're trying to spend all this money on other things, and you really haven't captured anything that's definitive yet. You know, your wife started looking at you kind of crazy and shit. It was a hard time. And people don't realize, you don't know, you make your smart ass comments sometimes. God, I wish I could get my fucking hands around your goddamn throat. Because you don't know what me and my family's been through. When I was sitting on my bathroom toilet crying my eyes out, I was going to tell my wife that she's going to have to take the kids and go to their mama's because I'm not sure I can protect them. Just the shit wasn't stopping. And I did everything that everybody said to do. But I'll tell you the hardest part. When I got down to Arkansas, I had to face my in-laws. And I never backed down for what I knew was the truth. And I told them that I was having to drop her and my kids off because the damn Bigfoot is persistent in watching my kids. And my stepfather, and my father-in-law, a man I truly respect, they looked at me like I was trying to abandon my family and my kids and go back to Oklahoma without them. Like I didn't want to be with my wife and raise my kids anymore. Like I was backing out on my responsibilities as a father and as a husband. And that shit hurt me. But I never backed down for what I knew was the truth. And since then, he's seen some things that I've showed him, and he's truly convinced. He never told me that, because he's that type of guy. But mom-in-law, God bless her, she's like, what'd you show him? I'm like, what do you mean? He says he knows you're telling the truth. He saw it. And it was the mama, the white face, it was her titty. In one of the pictures I showed him that turned him around, he said, I saw the titty. And I've had a couple other people comment on that titty. And that titty made a couple of people believers. And anyway. But he told his wife, you know, Mark's telling the truth. She said, what'd you show him? Because he told me that you would tell the truth. He believed you. Because he said a breast on a female is an animal. I showed him the same thing I showed you. I said, but people see and notice different things. And so we made it over that obstacle. But that was one of the hardest parts. I usually don't give a shit if people believe me or not. I don't care if you like or subscribe or share my channel. I ain't making a dime. Don't care to make a dime. I ain't selling no fucking t-shirts, no mugs, nothing on my shit. This is about sharing information that can be put together with other information that somebody else shares. We got a better understanding of these creatures. It's about nothing else. And I don't care if people believe me. But man, I tell you what, when it comes to mom-in-law and my father-in-law, I give a damn what they think. And that was a hard time. And then I get on there and I deal with people's smart-ass messages and shit. Like Dr. PhD dickhead, you know. People just don't have a clue of what people truly honestly have gone through. You can tell a story, you can send an email, but it gets down to the nitty-gritty details that a lot of people still don't share, that the families that have been torn apart because of these damn things. Now, there was a time when my wife and kids were not staying at my home. I tell you what, I will never forget the sound of my home after I went to Arkansas and I dropped my wife and kids off. Oops. And I made it back home. I unlocked my front door and there was dead silence. And I had never heard that before. There's always some kid screaming or damn Mickey Mouse Clubhouse on. There's always so much life. Got back home and there was none. And that was so very hard for me. And that's when it hit me. I was bitter. And people were like, oh, well, don't do this. Bigfoot gonna get you. I promise you, I didn't give a shit. You see on my videos, I hear something, see something. I'm coming outside, I'm armed and I'm looking. Now, granted, they got a higher skill set than I do and they evaded me, thank God. And I'm a piss poor shot, I'm glad for that. But I don't respond well to when I feel like I'm being pushed or bullied or violated or infringed upon. I try to face that shit head on. And that might not be the best thing to do, especially for these creatures, but I sometimes just being pissed off and angry about it just kind of washes out the fear. I was pissed at them during that time. You know, when you try to come to grips with these things being real and they're there, other people say they're not. You're like, it's right out through the yard. It's frequent in your property. There's a lot to deal with in a short period of time. And man, I tell you, this shit starts getting crazy, and it's like, God Almighty, man. There's no time for to catch your breath and get a little bit of a comfort level. It's like steady evolving. And since then, you know, calm down. You think a little bit more rational. You realize that they never showed any kind of acts of aggression. I shot at them more times than I'm ever going to really tell people. People get sensitive about me shooting at their forest brothers and shit. But the fact that I hear them stomping through my woods and pushing through brush on camera, and it's on my property, and it's posted, I think I'm going to go out there and throw me a damn 30-round clip magazine into that damn tree line. When I see them push January 19th, I saw that one behind the tree on video 2 weeks after my kids had been gone, and they came back, and then they behind the same damn leaning tree. And the next day, I was watching that live video that morning to see if they come back to that same spot, and they pushed a tree down while I was watching live video. And I was already pissed about them being back already. The next day after I brought my kids home, and me and my wife already talked about she was going to have to go back to Arkansas with the kids. I was already pissed. You know, I really ain't ever talked about it, but I didn't carry no camera outside that day to go see what pushed that tree down. I went out there like I was in extra Tropic Thunder. Whoa! I was lighting shit up, man. It was true. It was falling all over the damn place and shit like I was watching Predator or something. I'm like, man, if it bleeds, I'm gonna kill it. I lit them damn woods up that day. To the neighbor finally called me. What's going on, neighbor? What you shooting at? And they usually don't do that. Like the night that I shot 4 shots out my front door, that shadow approached my house. The neighbor's like, yeah, I heard that. I was wondering what was going on. Rolled over, went back to bed. They didn't call the law. Didn't ever ask me about it or anything. Because they're just them type of people. They just hear gunshots out here at night. And chances are you just shooting at, you know, some type of wild game or something, or a coyote, or you got people out here that do poaching and whatnot. But they don't even call the law. But anyway. Since then, calmed down a little bit. And David really helped me with that. God bless him, man. He's like, you know, Mark, them juveniles coming up there at the house all the time. He said, no, it's just they're trying to snatch one of your kids or nothing, man. He said, I think they get a kick out of you. He said, you come out all fired up and shit, and, you know, and they could probably get a kick out of getting you riled up and evading you. I'm like, man, that's a crazy ass theory, but it kind of makes sense. I think about some of them videos, man, like fat ass come busting out the front door, nothing but Crocs and red boxers on, AR-15 strapped around my damn neck and shit. Come busting out the door like a damn team deathmatch, Call of Duty round just started. Got it all up, gun up and stuff. I'm looking through the damn scope and swinging around, nothing but boxers and Crocs on. I bet the Sasquatch did get a kick and laughing at my ass. They probably get bored and like, let's go down there and see that fat ass dude down the street and shit, see if we can get him to come outside. That dude's hilarious. They probably do get a kick out of me. And that got me kind of thinking. And since then, I made a commitment Won't shoot anymore unless I feel like there's a threat on me and my family. Because really, times that I've shot those damn juveniles and shot the damn tree line, and then there's no retaliation, no active aggression back towards me, no slapping on the house, nothing. People say what they want, but I can't just ignore that fact. That don't mean I trust them. That don't mean I trust them, or I'm gonna be gifting them and all this other stuff. But I'll always have my guard up. One thing I know for certain, me and my wife was talking, things will never be the same. My life will never go back to the way it used to be. It's just changed everything, how you conduct yourself. But just because I hear something walking, loud footfalls or limb breaks and things like that, don't mean I gotta go shoot the damn tree line up. You know, I just had to change the way I was thinking about it, I guess. And sometimes I still struggle with that. But I gotta remind myself, man, you know, and one thing that means a lot to me is family. And this is obviously a family unit. I've seen Mommy and Daddy. My father-in-law seen the titty. You know, we've seen 2 juveniles. It's a family. And they're mates. Because my son saw 2 that day. And what I caught on video on December 24th, standing behind that leaning tree, was Mama and Daddy. They together. My son saw them together. I saw them together. They obviously mates. 2 juveniles. It's a family. And I got a lot of respect for family. So, you know, I know one thing. I couldn't go to another part of the country and get away with the shit that I've got away with here with these creatures. I'm fortunate that apparently I got one a little bit more understanding. Like, well, you know, he's just, you know, scared right now. He'll let him work his way through it, I'm guessing, because they've never turned around and had an act of aggression back towards me when everything says that they should have. And like I said, I was talking to Troy Hudson the other day. I said, you know, Troy, you imagine if I was over in another part of the country pulling the shit that I pulled out in the deep woods and shit in Northern California? Yeah, I'd be a missing 411 case for sure. And I had no idea how fast and elusive these creatures are. But anyway, well, the camera's going dead. Got 1 minute left. Sorry I talked the whole time, but just want to share some experiences and a little bit of knowledge and just put stuff out there that may stick with you, help you put another piece of puzzle, but maybe whatever you got, and have a better understanding of these things. I won't be making a whole lot of habit of coming out here doing this, but I got stuff I do have to come out here and do, so I don't mind throwing a camera on while I'm out here, so y'all stay safe.